December 24th, 2019.
I actually like the Oscar Isaac.
I like it too.
idea.
I like it too, and he's already in bed with Disney with Poe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he can land some humor. And he's how tall is he?
Oscar. All right, let me guess. My guess is 5'10". That's my guess. Let's see what it is.
Oscar Isaac.
5'9".
5'9". So yeah, Oscar Isaac. That's my pick for Moon Knight.
So there you go, Brian. I picked it on December 24th, 2019. I said Oscar Isaac should be Moon Knight. And lo and behold, the secret is out, quoting from what is this guy's position? Cinematographer, Gregory Middleton. Well, the secret is out. It's an honor to be a part of introducing a new character to the MCU, Moon Knight. He says in his Instagram post, who says cinematographers worry about white costumes? Not if they are complex characters played by an amazing performer like Oscar Isaac. Dude!
There you go, man.
I don't think I've ever fan casted correctly before.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That you called that, and B, that's good casting, I think. Yeah, man. It's pretty sweet.
Oscar Isaac, most of you guys should know definitely as Poe Dameron from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. He's just one of those guys where I was like, yeah, I think he could pull it off. And definitely the Mark Spector what's the word I'm looking for? Mercenary aspect of it. And then if they go with that idea of different actors for the different personalities, I'm really okay with that. But I'm also okay with putting Oscar Isaac in a bunch of makeup and shit that he thinks he sees himself as, just to play with the insanity a little bit more. So I don't know. I'm pretty stoked simply because I got it right. And then I mean we mentioned a whole bunch of other names, but that was my pick at the end. You know, I think, yeah. Moon Knight is such a great character. So, do you need a good actor? And could you think of anyone else that you would have preferred to see in the role?
Well, Adam Driver is 6'2", but
That he is 6'2".
Joking.
The whole setup to that part of that conversation, I don't really know how much of that I'm going to leave into the cold open. But the original rumor back from December of 2019 was that Daniel Radcliffe was being looked at for Moon Knight. And I was like, dude's 5'4". Like, I know that we don't have to always match the height of the heroes, but 5'4" is like Wolverine, man. not your Sentry or your Moon Knight or your Spider-Man, who are all average to 6 foot plus, you know?
Yeah. I feel bad. I hope, sidebars, that Daniel Radcliffe's able to find something, because, you know, he's so only looked at as one thing, the ultimate typecast guy. And it's like, you know, I hope he can find another breakout role where people are like, oh yeah, he's this thing, but he was also Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, but so far that has not happened.
He got acclaim on stage for a little bit, and then that Swiss Army Man movie made some critical
He's done a few
buzz.
Cool little things, but nothing has, you know, blown him up. But no, Oscar Isaac, you know, it's funny because, you know, Poe Dameron, specifically in The Rise of Skywalker, he was sort of slightly, you know, he's sort of a couple different kind of characters, but Han Solo type also a little bit, especially in that film. And it's so funny when you're looking at his career now, it's like he's very Harrison Ford, where he's strategically placing himself in all of these major franchises. And I mean, let's look, you know, okay, Moon Knight, Star Wars, Dune, There's rumors that Metal Gear Solid, like you start looking, you know what I mean? And these are all major franchises. Some, Metal Gear Solid not out yet, but has potential to be. 10, 20 years from now, you'll look back at this era and, he will be one of the names that you'll think of.
Yeah. Most likely, unless it's just totally
unless everything bombs. You have Dune bomb. Well, Harrison, Blade Runner was a, failure at the box office, but still has that legendary status. So,
even 2049 has, I think, already reached the same, at least not in numbers, but the people that are dedicated to it are every bit as dedicated as they are to the original, and I like that. You're one of those. I love hearing how happy you are to get a sequel that you felt did your characters and your story justice. Isaac is just so he's got a look, he's got a voice, he's got a way about him. He's got some swagger. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can see it going any way with him. I really dug the idea because it expands the cast a little bit and allows you to hire more people and presents a really interesting visual aesthetic if every personality is a different actor. But I think Oscar Isaac himself is capable of showing us a different character, and that you could potentially do similar to the comics, where it's simple hair and outfit and slight facial changes that Moon Knight sees in himself when he's Frenchie or the Playboy millionaire or whatever the case may be, Yeah, I don't know. I was just super stoked. That announcement came out yesterday, I believe, and I was like talking to Jammer on Slack, and I was like, dude, do you remember we fucking called this shit, man? So yeah. 2019. Damn, it took 2 years from rumors of, because summer 2019 it was officially announced at Comic-Con, because we talked about it on LR Mornings for that Comic-Con, and then wasn't it? I think it was. That was when Moon Knight was announced. Anyways,
something like that.
It's been over a year since rumors started about casting, and now we've got it. And I can't think of anybody more perfect. So yeah, there we go. Let's see, what else is going on? Is there anything else big going on in Marvel that I can tie that off to? No, but I can tie it into some more comic book movie news. Dude, Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers and the character of Cyborg. It pretty much is all but official that not only is Fisher done as Cyborg, but the character will not be recast. And this comes from a report from The Wrap. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, for months now, it appeared that Warner Brothers has gone back and forth. For a minute, it looked like they were taking his allegations serious and they were looking into it, and then there were hints that they weren't, or that there were stories coming out that felt like they were trying to sort of go after him a little bit. I've been very confused with this whole thing, and I kept saying, I think I said it on here a while back, what exactly happened? You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people are like, just
Right.
What happened? I'm willing to listen. Look, if something really bad happened, what happened? And he just never would really go into details. And then the few things he did sort of bring up, there was no specifics. It was very vague.
Right.
And at this point, Warner Brothers has made the decision to just say, yeah, we don't care. You're out, and we're going to continue business as usual. So if there was really bad things that happened, it's unfortunate that we don't know what those things were. So I don't know. No one was backing him. That was one of the things that had it out until Jason Momoa did come out and say, I stand with Fisher, I believe. But even then, nothing was
from
said.
him either.
And so I kept waiting. There's a lot, because he was saying that a lot of these things happened on set. There's a lot of people that worked on that film, and I was waiting for anyone to come around and say, no, this is what happened, and people to give their detailed accounts. That never happened. So
someone else has got to not like Joss Whedon for some reason or another. Somebody else has to be a decent human being and see mistreatment and say, I'm not going to let that stand, right? You would think.
So, it comes down to, because none of that really happened, I think most people are sort of like ignoring it and don't care. And, hey, look, if something happened, that sucks. But, I'm a Whedon fan. And I've been waiting to say, okay, well, what did he do? What did he do? And I've yet to hear anyone else come out, not only from this account, but from anything, and say that he did something bad. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't pass judgment on what happened or what didn't happen. But clearly, Warner Brothers has made their decision. And if something truly did happen, I feel bad for Fisher, because look, I can't imagine. With Warner Brothers being one of the big powers in Hollywood, a lot of companies may turn their back on him as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Definitely. And this this is one of those situations where his own actions kind of come back to bite him. Maybe he was trying to save his career by being vague and being like, look, you guys, there's bad stuff going on. Why don't you investigate it? Put the ball in their court and see what shakes loose. But the moment that what he felt was wrong didn't come to light, he should have then said, okay, since you guys obviously, allegedly, in his mind, are trying to CYA, XYZ happen on dates 1, 2, and 3. And these are my specific complaints. Because without that, you're right. We can all say we feel bad for him. We hope the best for him. But we can't honestly legitimately take his side because we don't know his full side.
Yeah, and because of the vagueness of the allegations, if you go on Twitter, the toxic world that is that, as he has his defenders, but he has as many detractors. And so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, if you're going to do this, you got to go all in, because if you don't, it's not going to work out, and it hasn't. Obviously, it hasn't worked out for him. So
no, absolutely not. Hamada's in through 2023, and Fisher wasn't down with that, and you can't make a DC movie without Hamada. He refuses to make a movie with Hamada. I mean, it all lines up. It's all and people making their own choices and stuff. Shit happens. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. I mean, that's all that can be said. Yeah, it's like
it's yeah.
Because we've talked about this probably 2 or 3 times over the year, and every time I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for what happened.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
You can't in any situation, legal, civil, Hell, snitching on your sibling. If you don't have proof, you don't got shit. Like, we're not saying nothing happened. We're saying tell us so we can make sure that it doesn't happen.
And then this was months ago when he wasn't saying much, and I kept seeing people say, "Oh, there's legal issues, and that's why he didn't say anything." And I'm like, I call bullshit. I mean, look, I'm no lawyer, but come on, man. At that point, he saw that he was losing this, and you know what I mean. So no, you needed to go for it.
He went for broke, and I don't think it's necessarily going to work. I hope the best for him. I hope it's kind of weird because I hope he wasn't mistreated, which means I hope he's a liar, but I don't hope he's a liar, but I don't want him to have been mistreated. You know what I'm saying? It's such a shitty situation to talk about.
I typically, I root for, the guy who's fighting against the big evil corporation. That's usually what I do because, look, Warner Brothers, they're looking out for Warner Brothers. And so, like I said,
these fuckers made, Warner Brothers made, what's her name? Catwoman in Dark Knight Trilogy lose like 20 pounds to play Catwoman. And you're like, Anne Hathaway, when have you ever seen her on screen when you thought she could lose 15, 20 pounds?
Yeah,
Warner Brothers so old fashioned.
Yeah. So when he initially started saying stuff, I was like, oh shit, what happened? And then I thought it was odd that he never went into detail. And then when he did say a few little things, but like I said, it was insanely vague. But
we'll see what happens. He hasn't been shy about calling out people that are writing on this story. There's people that were formerly connected to our own website that he called out on Twitter for writing a story and basically accused the person of backing Warner Brothers. Yeah, I don't know. He seems almost bitter to the point of self-destruction now. And I hope he's not there. But that's kind of the outside looking in thing. Yeah. I know you and I talked briefly last night, and you actually had a very good complaint and a good counter argument that I thought would be interesting to bring up, but I'm uncertain exactly what it was. Brian, can you help me out?
Yeah, we were talking about the state of video games and what to wait for PS5 or whatever, and then I got into how it, we were talking about one of our favorite things last year was Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it just hit me that, you know what, I had no issues with that game in terms of bugginess or crashes or anything like that. We did a night one review where we played, I don't even remember how many hours, 8 or...
It was about 8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours straight.
About 8-ish.
And then we did, the morning show to talk about it, and I had no issues that night. Zero. And I'm sitting here playing games like Cyberpunk on a base PS4, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and my God, Cyberpunk at launch was unplayable. It really was. It's better now than it was, but it still has major issues. Valhalla crashes about every 3 to 5 hours of playing.
Jeez.
And that, that's insane to me that we're still having these kind of problems. I know you had a purchase recently that you were having issues with as well. But it was one of those moments where I was like, you know what? Good job with the Final Fantasy, because I realized this was a major, AAA title that, graphically was great, had, cool combat, had a lot of content in it, and the game ran like it was supposed to, as opposed to all these games that have come out in the last several months. And we're in this weird state now where, companies can get away, speaking of evil corporations, they can get away with releasing an unfinished product, charging full price, and then be like, we'll fix it later.
We'll fix it over the next 6 months with patches. Yeah, I haven't played Cyberpunk. I always said if I was going to get it, I mean, I've got a gaming desktop, or, you know, I got an RTX card in there. I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I've got solid state drive. You know, I got a gaming rig. I got a top of the line unlocked CPU, unlocked, like I said, RTX GPU. I don't think I could play it at ultra across the board, but I could probably play it on high across the board with no problem, and it would look like what we see in the commercials. But you know, this computer's got like $1,500 in parts in it. If somebody else had built it, it would have been easily well over $2,000. But I built it myself, so you know, I got to save some money and whatnot. But you're right, dude. We sat there, and because it was my idea, I was like, "Fuck it." We've both done all night gaming sessions before. Let's be those people that do the 8-hour thing and do an initial real review, and then weeks later when we finished it, at about 50 hours each, give or take, we did a full review. Unlike the people that play through it, yeah, sure, they can tell you about combat and the general story, but we were able to go into much more detail, and I can't remember that first night at all. Anything shutting down, resetting. Maybe there may have been some texture loading issues, but I don't even remember if there was. And then,
if there was, I not enough for me to remember.
Yeah, and then patching for Final Fantasy VII, it's rare. I don't remember a lot of them, but Avengers, dude, even during the holidays, and Avengers has been out for months. During the holiday season, the 2 weeks of leading up to Christmas and New Year's, I think Avengers got like 3 updates. What the fuck? Games used to come out complete, 100% complete. Computer games were always a little different because you can always add on to computer games. You know, DLC is a relatively new thing for consoles. But if anything, man, modern consoles and the idea of patching and DLC in the console world has somehow done the complete opposite of what PC gaming does. PC gaming, when a game is generally PC exclusive, especially, it's usually finished. It might need a patch here or there for this or that as new tech comes out, new shaders, drivers, this, that, the other. A random bug is discovered in a late level, or some sort of glitch if players do something rare. Like, yeah, but console games, they started out having to be complete because they were on cartridges like Nintendo and stuff. But now they don't have to be. And I think one of the things that can help, I think I asked you this before. You don't know who Austin Evans is, right? This is Austin, tech guy.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
He came out earlier, a few weeks ago, with a great video talking about how he really thought, I believe it was him, he thought the PlayStation 4 was going to die off earlier this year, or this generation, than previous generations. He said especially the base model. So your base Xbox One and your base PS4. He sees support going away for those, and we've been getting rumors that indeed Sony is halting production on almost all base models and one model of the PS4, and it seems at this point, if rumors are true, that only the 1 terabyte PS4 Pro is going to have continued production for a little bit. The reason why, he says, is more than ever, making games for multiple generations is holding games back.
Yes, 100% agree with that. Cyberpunk's a great example where, it barely functions on, base PS4 and Xbox One. And so, that's got me concerned. And this is what sparked our conversation the other day was there's almost every game announced that's supposedly coming out in 2021 and even into 2022 are supposedly going to be able to be, back. You could play it on, PS4 and Xbox One as well.
Yes. The base models.
Yeah, the base models. I would not trust that going forward. I just won't. I heard there were issues with the Miles Morales Spider-Man game even. So, I don't trust it. Those games are not they appear that they're not going to function properly on the last gen base consoles. And so, no, I agree. I need a PS5.
Yeah, there's one thing that PC gaming has always had over console gaming, and that's because of the architecture used to create games for consoles, especially back in the PS3 with that really, really powerful but really hard to program for cell processor the PS3 had. There's something PC games can do that I think the Xbox One, I think some of those games have options, but maybe I've been seeing people playing on Game Pass, and maybe that's why it has that option. But resolution and frame rate options in the game, that fixes so much. People that have PCs that are a little bit older can still play modern games by simply tweaking the graphics themselves. For example, some games, your terrain might not be that important to you. World of Tanks, for example. Even though I've got an RTX thing and I could play Ultra across the board, if I couldn't and I needed to sacrifice something, I'm going to sacrifice terrain first. And then I'm going to look at shadows. Because I really want my characters, or in that game's case, my tank, to look the best, right? So I'm willing to sacrifice a few things here and there. Maybe even lock my... Because I got 144 hertz gaming monitor. So I can not only get my FPS well above 100 frames per second, but my monitor actually benefits from it and shows it, and you know what I'm saying? I think Sony and Microsoft should look at their current gens and their old gens and see if there's any way with these games to do that, to allow some sort of scaling down personally of the graphics like you do on PC. Do you think that could extend the shelf life of the base models?
Yeah, I just assume that they can't, and the only reason I make that assumption is because they never have.
Yeah,
so I don't.
That's true.
Understand.
Like I said, I have seen Austin, but he could be using Game Pass on a PC, and maybe that's why he's able to play with the Xbox One X. Or Series X, the Xbox X, the Sex. That's right, we call it the Sex here at LRM. But yeah, I think that maybe... But I agree with Austin that especially the base models are holding these games back. And look, if you just spent money on a base model Xbox One or PS4, there's a lot of great games, and you can enjoy that system for several years. But yeah, I wouldn't buy any of the next gen games on a base model Xbox or PS4.
I'm done doing that. I'll have a PS5 at some point soon. I mean, there's not a whole lot of games coming out right now, so it's not a huge deal,
Yeah.
but
Let me see, because I want to know yours, because you already know mine. I want to, let's see here, PS5, or let's say PlayStation exclusives 2021. All right. We have, of course, potentially Final Fantasy 16, potentially God of War Ragnarok, potentially Gran Turismo 7, and then we do know Ratchet and Clank, Deathloop, and Horizon Zero Dawn's sequel, Horizon Forbidden West. Do you have a purchase point, like a game stake? Like, this is the game. I get my PS5 with this game.
none of those, to be completely honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure several of those will be great, and I'll probably get them, but none of those make me say, I have to, oh my God, gotta buy the PS5 today.
Not even Deathloop? Oh.
It looks cool. Like I said, there's some cool looking games there, but even Horizon's piqued my interest quite a bit.
Is there a PS5 game that does that you are, or you're just whenever you'll just get it whenever?
I'll just get it whenever.
Okay.
For the next year, yeah. Like I said, I'm sure by 2022 it'll be different. But yeah, for now, I'm just hoping they'll patch up Cyberpunk so I can play it. I mean, I do have it, sorta.
Yeah. I hope that gets worked out. And I hope, like, so many people were angry when I was one of them when Final Fantasy got delayed 3 months. I was pissed. Especially when they released the demo, and I'm like, if the demo plays like this, you can't tell me the game's not fucking done, you assholes. Let me play. But the experience was great. Like you said, dude, we were able to do a day zero. How many games do people... I don't watch a lot of Twitch. I would be interested in how many day zero issues there are with other AAA titles like a Call of Duty or a Battlefront or Battlefield or whatever it's called. I do. I wonder how many issues there are.
A lot.
Would you have would you have preferred CD Projekt Red to have delayed another, say, 90 days to ensure base model functionality?
I mean, I would have complained like all hell, but knowing what I know now, going forward, yeah, I would have delayed it till probably the summer, to be completely honest with you. Because the way we're hearing, the rumors and everything we're hearing, they say the game will be functioning the way it's supposed to by the end of February. Mm-hmm. But there's rumors about a lot of cut content about yeah, no,
I heard that.
Yeah, that was.
It's all right. It's all right. It was the British version, not the American version, and the British version's okay.
Yeah. So they're saying that some of that stuff's going to come back, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know, but if that's the case, then it should have probably been another 6 months, maybe even a year.
Jeez, I look at Halo. Halo's a perfect example. Halo Infinite was supposed to be a launch title, and they said, "You guys really don't like what you see, so we're gonna delay it." Because let's admit it, everyone. Yes, Kyle is not an Xbox guy, but Brian has every Xbox. I mean, not every model, but every generation, right? Regular, 360, and one. Yeah. You might not be the world's biggest Halo fan, but you were definitely like, oh my God, that looked ugly, right?
Looked horrible. Absolutely.
So I can definitely see you also being very, very happy that that it got delayed a year.
Yeah, because, I mean, And it's funny because, yeah, you're looking at it and it's like, yeah, it's delayed a year. And now after the whole Cyberpunk thing, it's like, yeah, that's probably accurate to what it needs to be. And I bet you in a year it'll probably still have issues.
Oh, God. Should... I gotta know who? Oh, two things. One, what in the world is going on that these game studios, these developers cannot seem to finish games on time, on budget, completely. And I know games are a lot more complicated these days, but there's got to be something. It's one thing for a crew member to be left on set of The Mandalorian. It's another to sell thousands of copies of a game on a system that won't work. So, but basically what I'm personally willing, if a company comes out and says, honestly, X, Y, and Z, we must delay. Not give me the platitudes of to give you the best gaming experience, or in order to make sure we get all the bugs, because you're not just getting all the bugs. There's other ADR shit you're doing, whatever's going on. Be honest with us. Tell us what's going on. And if you come out and you say, look, we can't get this running right on these cross platforms, so we have to delay the game. Or Brian, do you see where you could release the current gen version now and 6 months later release the port? Didn't that used to happen? Didn't older ports take longer? I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I think, there's the whole early access model where, a lot of companies now will release a game unfinished, say pay us, and when, as the game is finished, you'll get it. And that's sort of cool in that you're getting it way early. All the bugs and issues make sense because it's not finished, and you're giving them feedback, and it's a glorified demo in some ways. And so something like Cyberpunk, if they had released this game and said it's early access, it's not finished, it's going to take us another 6 months or whatever, but go ahead and pay us and then give us your feedback, there would have been less complaining because we would have been told up front that it's not finished. So that maybe that might be the route to go.
I agree. Communication is always appreciated. You should always communicate with people and your customers. So yeah, I just hope Horizon Forbidden West hits and it's as done as can be, so that way from day one it's enjoyable, because that's my no later than date. I like Deathloop, but I suck at first person shooters on console. But yeah, anyways, any other words on any of our stories today, Brian?
No.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys check out LRMonline.com every single day for all your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Check out the YouTube channel. Podcasts are going up there. Celebrity interviews. Lots of really great stuff. We're growing, and we need your help to grow. And the best way to do that is with beautiful watch time, listen time, and, of course, subscriptions and following us at the YouTube channel and the podcast network, where you can go back to December 24th episode of LR Mornings and listen to me correctly cast Moon Knight on LR Mornings with Jammer. But yeah, anyways, but Brian, where can people find you at on the internet?
You can find me on YouTube. The channel's Pulp Mythos, PULPMYTHOS. That's one word. Currently reviewing shows like The Stand, Your Honor, Big Sky, 30 Coins. So a lot of cool stuff.
Yep, and you guys can find a link to Brian's podcast in the descriptions below. I make sure I provide that. Brian will also be joining us soon for LRM's very first anime-based podcast, where we're going to be reviewing Dr. Stone Season 2, which the subtitles hit January 14th, but we're going to be covering the dubs because that's what the majority of American audiences watch, and also because I personally saw Dr. Stone first as a dub, and in my brain, once I see an anime in one style, I almost can't watch it in the other. So like, I can't do Dragon Ball subtitled. Can't do it. None of them. I must watch all Dragon Ball in dubbed. But Your Name, like, I won't watch that dubbed. I only watch it subtitled because that's how I first saw it. It's weird. I know. Fucking crazy. If you guys want to laugh at my craziness to my digital face, you can do that at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. I'm also at that one, the number one, at that one Kyle Malone on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week.